Have you ever walked past someone sleeping on a sidewalk and wondered how they got there? What they were like as a child? What dreams they once carried? Have you ever thought that just a few wrong turns, a few unlucky days, and that person could have been you? America is known to the world as a land of opportunity, a place where ambition meets innovation, where success stories are born in coffee shops and garages, where dreams can thrive. But behind the glittering skyscrapers, the billion-dollar tech companies, and the manicured suburban lawns, there is a quieter, harsher reality, one many choose to ignore. A reality where people sleep under bridges instead of blankets, where hope is a fleeting feeling, and where the streets tell a story that doesn't make it into the glossy brochures of the American dream. Let's begin in San Francisco, a city often admired for its postcard-perfect views and its towering symbol of progress, the Golden Gate Bridge. But beneath that bridge and across the city, nearly 7,000 people sleep without a home. Some curl up in doorways, some in tents, and some just under the open sky. San Francisco is also home to Silicon Valley, arguably the richest patch of land on Earth, where millionaires are minted every day. Yet, many residents here are just one rent hike away from losing their homes. The cost of living has spiraled beyond imagination. A one-bedroom apartment often costs more than what most people make in a month. And for those who fall behind, there are no safety nets, only pavement. The tech boom brought billionaires, but it also pushed out families, teachers, and service workers, the very people who keep the city alive. About 2 hours northeast, Sacramento might seem like a quieter alternative, a place where life moves a bit slower. But even in the state's capital, over 9,000 people face homelessness. They camp along the American River and sleep in cars near government buildings. Many of them work, yes, work, but still can't afford housing. One woman, who worked full-time as a janitor at a local school, lived in a tent with her 2 kids. She would wake them up at 5 a.m., clean them up at a nearby gas station, and get them to school before she headed to her shift. She didn't need charity, she needed a chance. Phoenix, Arizona bakes under the desert sun, where summer temperatures easily exceed 110 degrees. Over 9,600 people are homeless here. Imagine living on blistering concrete with no shade, no water, and nowhere to go. The city has tried setting up cooling centers, but they fill up quickly, and many still end up baking under the sun. The housing crisis is bad, but it's worsened by another plague: opioids. The fentanyl crisis has ravaged communities. Every day, 5 people in Arizona die from opioid overdoses. It's not just numbers. These are sons, daughters, fathers, and mothers whose lives crumbled under a system that often punishes addiction instead of treating it. In Oakland, California, nearly 10,000 people are without a home. The city sits just across the bay from San Francisco, and it mirrors the same cruel pattern: gleaming wealth right beside profound poverty. In one neighborhood, you might see multi-million-dollar homes with panoramic views of the bay. Just a few blocks away, rows of tents line sidewalks. One man, who once owned a small auto shop, lost his lease due to rising rent. A year later, he was living in his car with his dog. He said the most painful part wasn't the hunger or the cold. It was watching people avoid eye contact like he no longer existed. Travel south and you'll reach San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley. It's a city where dreams are engineered, where tech giants were born. But over 9,900 people sleep on its streets. It's a strange irony. This city filled with futuristic ideas hasn't found a solution for the most basic human need: shelter. The median home price here hovers around $1.5 million. Teachers, nurses, even police officers are priced out. One public school teacher, after years of teaching second grade, was forced to live in her car in the school parking lot. She taught children how to read by day and cried herself to sleep by night. How can a society flourish when those who build its future can't even afford a bed? Denver, Colorado paints a beautiful picture with its mountain backdrop and outdoor charm. But even here, over 10,000 people don't have a home. The housing shortage is among the worst in the country, with nearly 70,000 housing units missing from the market. Rent keeps rising, wages lag behind, and for many, the path back to stability feels blocked at every turn. Shelters are overcrowded, support systems are stretched. A former construction worker who injured his back on the job ended up homeless after his medical bills piled up. He now lives under an overpass, surrounded by others with similar stories, injured, forgotten, and cast aside. Then there's San Diego, a city known for its sunny beaches and military history. But the sun can't hide the 200+ homeless people struggling every day. One woman, Tracy, has lived on the streets for over 7 years. She sets up her tent in a quiet corner near the gas lamp district, only to be moved again and again by city workers. She's been offered temporary shelter beds, but they come with rules that strip away her autonomy.
"We're not bad people," she says. "We're just in a bad situation."
Her words echo across this country, repeated in different voices, different streets, but always the same meaning. People don't choose homelessness. They fall into it when the system fails them. Seattle, Washington, a city of rain, coffee, and billion-dollar companies, has over 14,000 homeless individuals. Amazon and Microsoft have transformed the skyline, but their shadow stretches wide. For many, Seattle is unaffordable. Some turn to shelters, others to encampments like the Jungle, located under an interstate highway. It's dangerous, dirty, and chaotic. But for many, it's safer than the alternatives. One woman, Kara, found a strange kind of safety there. She had been beaten in a shelter before and felt more control over her life in that lawless place. She shared food, stories, and protection with others. In that darkness, they found community. It was imperfect, but it was theirs. And then comes Los Angeles, a city of contrasts, where nearly 71,000 people are without a home. The number is staggering. Skid Row, just blocks from luxury lofts and art galleries, is a microcosm of this crisis. Rows of tents stretch for blocks, with residents improvising electricity from street lamps to power their phones or heat a cup of noodles. Many refuse city-run shelters, not out of pride, but out of fear. Fear of losing what little freedom they have. Fear of being separated from loved ones. Fear of being trapped in a system that doesn't listen. Even those who do accept help often find themselves back on the street when short-term solutions expire. Violence, drugs, and gangs add layers of danger. South LA still grapples with the legacy of gang wars. Young men face a choice: the street or the shelter, both of which can be equally dangerous. A young mother there, who once dreamed of becoming a nurse, now spends her days protecting her 2-year-old daughter from rats and rainwater.
She says, "I just want her to be safe, that's all, just safe."
And finally, New York City, the city that never sleeps because too many have nowhere to sleep. Over 88,000 people are homeless in New York. Some sleep in parks, some in subway cars, some just keep walking all night to stay warm. The city has a right to shelter law, meaning anyone who asks for housing must be given it. But the system is overwhelmed. Migrants, arriving with hope and pain in equal measure, add new pressure to already stretched resources. The Roosevelt Hotel, now an intake center, overflows every day. Outside, lines of people wait with plastic bags full of their lives. Children cry, fathers beg, and mothers try to explain to their little ones why they can't go inside yet. These are not lazy people. They are survivors. They are workers. They are dreamers. And they are human. The causes of homelessness are complex. Mental illness, addiction, job loss, broken relationships, domestic violence, rising rents, stagnant wages, and a housing market that no longer works for ordinary people. It's easy to look away, to say it's their fault, or they should just get a job. But the truth is far more nuanced, far more painful. Many homeless people do work. Many are veterans, many are families, and many had lives not unlike yours. So the next time you walk past someone curled up on the sidewalk, remember, they weren't always there. They once had a bed, a favorite meal, a dream, and a plan. Something happened, and instead of being caught, they fell. What would it take for us, as individuals, communities, a country, to stop walking by, to see them, to care? Homelessness isn't just a crisis, it's a mirror. And what it reflects is the uncomfortable truth of how a nation treats its most vulnerable. Until we face that reflection with empathy, honesty, and action, we're not just failing them, we're failing ourselves.